Jai Shri Radhe. Vaishnav ko Jai Shri Krishna. Today is day 59 of the reading of the biographies of the 252 Vaishnava disciples of Sri Gosaiji. And so we are starting today with the story of Ali Khan and Pirjadi. And we are beginning with part 2, continued, and then part 3. In this way, Srinathji fully graced Ali Khan through the auspices of Sri Gosaiji. Part 3. One time, Pirjadi heard from a Vaishnava in Mahawan that Sri Gosaiji was giving divine discourses. She asked the Vaishnava at what time he sat to discourse. He replied that Sri Gosaiji took up his seat about 3 hours before sunset, that he got up and bathed at the time of the afternoon services. Ali Khan's daughter told her father that Sri Gosaiji was giving divine discourses at that time, that they should go to Gokul to listen to them. Ali Khan was delighted with the idea, and from that day they went there every afternoon. Sri Gosaiji would open the Srimad Bhagavatam and begin to speak, while these two sat and listened. The Vaishnavas began to chat among themselves. You see those two Muslims? Sri Gosaiji sends a man to call them to the discourse, and he only starts when they are present. Sri Gosaiji reads the Srimad Bhagavatam to them. In this way, the Vaishnavas were talking about them, but no one dared to say anything to Sri Gosaiji. However, he is all-knowing, and he knew what those Vaishnavas were thinking. One day, when Ali Khan and his daughter were sitting and Sri Gosaiji was about to open the Srimad Bhagavatam, he asked the Vaishnavas who were sitting in front of him to recall what they had discussed the previous day. They all began to look at each other, but none of them were able to answer Sri Gosaiji's question. He did not say anything to them, but proceeded to ask Ali Khan's daughter what the discourse of the day before had been about. Ali Khan's daughter bowed to Sri Gosaiji and said, "Oh Maharaj, if you give permission, I can tell you up to today each day's subject from the very first day. And if you wish, I shall just speak about yesterday's subject." After hearing all of this, Sri Gosaiji asked the Vaishnavas whether their doubt about these two had been allayed, or whether they were still doubting them. All the Vaishnavas were ashamed and kept quiet. By the grace of Sri Gosaiji, Ali Khan and his daughter were endowed with such minds and hearts. Part 4. Once Ali Khan was riding around on his horse. Sri Gosaiji saw the horse and remarked how fine it was. The stable guard told Ali Khan that Sri Gosaiji had praised the horse a lot. When Ali Khan heard this, he changed all the horse's accessories for new ones and sent the horse to Sri Gosaiji as a gift. His man stood at Sri Gosaiji's door with the horse and sent the doorman as a messenger inside to tell Sri Gosaiji that he was there with the horse. He said, "Oh Maharaj, Ali Khan has sent a horse for you. One man is with the horse at the door." Sri Gosaiji said that he did not want to keep the horse. The doorman told the man who was with the horse, and he went to Ali Khan, who told him the news, that Sri Gosaiji had sent the horse back and had refused it. Ali Khan pondered anyway. Why would Sri Gosaiji want to accept wealth from us? From that day on, he never rode that horse, and also did not let the stable guard ride it either. The horse stayed tied up. He fed it with all special foods that he had done before. Whenever he went for a ride, he would first of all dress up that horse and very attentively keep his eyes on it as it went in front. Ali Khan would imagine that Sri Gosaiji was riding the horse. He would bow down to it before mounting any other horse. Every year, on the festival of Dasera, he would make a new set of accessories for the horse and take the prasadi set to get put on his own horse. He said to himself, "Sri Gosaiji once praised this horse, so much love Ali Khan had Sri Gosaiji." Thus concludes Varta 37, the story of Ali Khan and his daughter Pirjadi, recipients of Sri Gosaiji's great grace and accomplished Vaishnavas. There is truly no end to their tale. Now we continue with Varta 38, the story of one Brahmin lady from a village 8 miles to the north of Ujjain, Bhav Prakash. This is a devotee of Rajasi disposition. In the eternal Leela, her name is Chandramukhi because her face is like the moon. Chandramukhi manifests from Shubhanana and is thus a form of her divine loving sentiment. Chandramukhi frequently meets Rasvilasini, who tells Chandramukhi about the Lord's secret pastimes. One day, Chandramukhi recounted some of these pastimes to Bhamasaki about Sri Thakurji's and Vishakaji's private meets. About Sri Thakurji's and Vishakaji's private meetings. Vishakaji heard this and cursed Chandramukhi to be born on this earthly plane. There is a village 8 miles to the north of Ujjain where lived one very rich Sanchora Brahmin. Chandramukhi was born into this family. She was only 8 when her mother and father married her off. When she was almost 25, smallpox spread in that village, so her parents and her husband died. She was alone at home and cried a lot. The village people tried to console her, but she would not listen to anyone. Then one individual told her that she should go regularly to listen to the discourses of Krishna Bhatt in Ujjain, and that his discourses were very enlightening, that they should help to remove her sorrow. This Brahmini lived in a village 8 miles to the north of Ujjain. From there she used to come to Krishna Bhatt's house in Ujjain. There she used to hear about Sri Gosaiji. She became attached to Sri Gosaiji in her heart and began to long for his sight. Once Sri Gosaiji came to Ujjain. The Brahmini came to know of this. She rushed enthusiastically from her village to see him. She bowed down to Sri Gosaiji and then stood at a short distance from him. At that time, lots of Vaishnavas of Ujjain had come there to receive the initiation of the Lord's name. He initiated them and gave them advice about the Lord's name. When all the Vaishnavas present had received the initiation, then the Brahmini came forward and was initiated. Then Sri Gosaiji went into Krishna Bhatt's home and cooked, made the offerings, partook of prasad and took rest. That night, the Vaishnavas again came to see Sri Gosaiji. They said, "O Maharaj, that Brahmini is not of good behaviour. Why did you initiate her?" Sri Gosaiji retorted, "What has this to do with you?" Bhav Prakash, the inner meaning. Here Sri Gosaiji teaches that until an embodied soul surrenders exclusively to the Lord, whilst their senses are otherwise engaged than in the Lord, until then they can be classed as not of good behaviour. He also teaches that within the path of grace, divine souls are most certainly accepted, whatever their disqualifications may be. In this path, the Lord does not judge them by their actions, but uplifts them by his unique, most superior power. An embodied soul's highest duty is always to be surrendered to the Lord, the shelter of the Lord, because he is most certainly uplifts those who have taken refuge in him alone. In his Krishnashray, Refuge in Krishna treatise, Sri Acharyaji implores the Lord, "I make supplications to the Sri Krishna that he might uplift those who have taken shelter in him." In the path of grace, it is grace that is most important. The soul's qualification is not considered. Souls who surrender to the Lord are most definitely graced. Conclude the reading today at part 1 continued of the Varta 38, the story of one Brahmin lady from a village 8 miles to the north of Ujjain. Sab Vaishnavan ko Jai Shri Krishna, Aaj ke Anand ki Jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.